Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. XRP is back, baby. I mean, a lot of cryptos are back, but XRP, funny enough, even though there's been so much hatred against it, I mean, XRP has been one of the best performers in the top 100 for a good while. Now, the last 2 hours or so, I think the entire market is moving down for some reason. But if we take a little bit of a look, you can see that just now, the price was above 63 point something cents. Like I said here, just about an hour and 20 minutes ago, the market started to move down ever so slightly, but that's often what you see in bull markets. There are tiny, teeny corrections, and of course, the price cannot only keep going up, you have to sometimes come down a little bit. But that brings me to a very important point, and I'll make a video on this probably somewhere later today, dive in more in depth, but it's basically as follows. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, it is already about time to start accumulating for the big run. And when I say the big run, I'm talking about the bull run. I know we've been in a bull run since November of 2022. That's officially when it started. So we've already been going at it for about a year and a half. Many people like to deny it, but that's the way I see it. But I still do believe that it will last another 50 weeks or so. So let's say about another year. And like we said before, in terms of phases, we're getting really close to the phase where altcoins pop off. I've had a lot of questions, though, of people asking me, Dusty, are you still bullish on XRP? And we know the funniest thing, I made a video on this like a few days back. And I think when I made the video, the price was still like 42 cents. Right now, the price is 63. And so first of all, some of my prayers have already been answered to finally see some livelihood back into XRP. But I want to warn you guys of something even more special. Today, we'll talk about two things. One is XRP, the thesis, and two is the lawsuit. So I'll talk first about my thesis with everything, and second of all, what I think is going on with the lawsuit. Yeah. So first of all, if we're talking about XRP, it's one of the most hated coins out there. But because the price right now for the last few days has been greatly outperforming almost any other crypto, mind you that this is always how XRP goes. It's a silent hunter, right? It's always silent, looking for the prey. All of a sudden, it's one of the last ones to eat, but once it latches on, it goes insane. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. Ethereum, Bitcoin, they all had to run a while back, going up to their almost all-time high levels. And all of a sudden, XRP just keeps breaking out and being the best gainer in the top 100, like in previous times. I will say this, though. This usually happens in a really strange manner where, again, everybody's like, oh, is the bull market... Like what is happening right now to XRP is kind of like textbook XRP behavior, but that's besides the point. I want to add, XRP has not had crazy pumps in such a long while. Again, let's put that in the back of our head. But also, the sentiment towards XRP has been bad for a long time. All of a sudden, though, I don't even have to pull them up, but some of the biggest guys in crypto, Crypto, the BitLord, a couple of guys, all of a sudden, I've noticed from the tweets, 𝗕𝗏𝗏, have started to switch up their attitude and say, you know what, it might be wise to start looking at XRP. Why? Because it just keeps gaining. And that's one of the funny things when it comes to crypto. You heard that, right? People are motherfucking dogs, right? They're rats. They go with whatever the water flows easiest. When it comes to XRP, it's almost always easiest to just hate on it. But now that the ETFs are getting closer, it's gotten the clarity from the lawsuit, and now we get into lawsuit territory. The lawsuit, there's almost nothing to be done anymore, right? Because if you're asking about the lawsuit, we only have them to settle, and the numbers for which they're going to settle or what the remedy payments are going to be, it's only basically gone down from the start. It's not a big deal. It ain't gonna be a big announcement. Oh, it's finally over. Cool, that's nice. But XRP is not a security. The lawsuit is finished. The bull market's here with XRP's proper status. There's not that much we're still eagerly waiting for. Whereas last year, or I should actually say last cycle, yeah, it went to $2 or so, but that was with the impending doom of perhaps losing the lawsuit. This time around, that's no longer there. And that's again why I keep bringing up this thesis of people will hate it. And again, XRP maybe right now is still not in the best of positions. I split it up into two ways. One is if the way things usually happens again, then XRP could either right now pop off like crazy because it kind of moves in really strange fashions every now and then with crazy price spurts when nobody expects it. But the most logical way of happening is Ethereum goes on a crazy rampage first as the ETFs roll in, and it's that thesis of Bitcoin first, Ethereum after, big altcoins after, smaller and smaller ones. And then again, at some point, pretty late into the large other coins, XRP goes for a frenzy. That's usually when it happens. But again, every run is slightly different because they have the clarity now. It could be that this whole process has been sped up significantly. And if the whole process has been expedited here, I'd say it makes for really interesting bull run thesis, because if XRP is one of the first ones, again, of this newer cycle, I'm talking about micro cycles here, right? We had a crazy run where Bitcoin went to all-time high, and that was like, let's say, end of March, and then all of a sudden came back down for the last 3 months, and now that new upswing has been starting. Bitcoin at 53,000, Ethereum went to what, 2,800. We're starting to go back up. What if in this micro run here, XRP all of a sudden takes the lead, where last time it was Solana, and just start going on a rampage? Again, I do not want to say this just for, oh, I really hope. There's not much hope in here. It's all based on probability. And again, following our case studies we've shown previously, if you just keep buying the XRP dip, you're fine. And it's proven itself yet again here, right now, today. But more importantly, like I said in the last video too, if you just believe in something, things usually work out fine. It's only once you start doubting yourself that things end up going wrong. Because again, if you had fully committed to XRP, your average price would have not been more than 50 cents. Why? Because the price went to 35 or something. So you could not have had an average price of more than 50 cents. It's impossible if you committed, right? If you really went for it because you believed in it. And that basically means that right now, regardless, you'd be up like 20%. And again, that would be whatever span of time. Regardless of the span of time, though, it would be good, because if you either did it with leverage or if you now did it with a ton of money, being up 20% is really, really good. Some people argue, oh, but Dusty, I've held this for 7 years and I'm only up a little bit. So what? Don't keep thinking about the past. Think of the future. If I always keep thinking about, oh, but only, if only, you always living in the past. It's only going to drag you down. 2 things I learned a long time ago and that I always hold dearly. Don't envy. So don't look at somebody else and think, hey, I don't like you having all this, or I want that for myself. Man, let every other person be like an example for your life. You know, they're living theirs. Their life does not affect you in the slightest. Them being happy or whatnot doesn't affect your happiness, if you know what I mean. Them being rich, just see it as inspiration for your own. If they achieve something, just know that if they can do it, you can do it too. Oh, but they were born different. Blah, 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 blah. Excuses. Anyway, that I learned really quickly. And the second of all is try to minimize regret for the healthiest of lives. Like back in the crypto day, early crypto days, just to say, I sometimes realize, oh, if only I bought that. Oh, I should have sold that quicker. Oh, and this can eat you alive, especially when you're really trying to make it and you just made a mistake, and you can think about that for months. Right? I remember as well when some of my community bought a coin that I accidentally was too late for, and I missed out on so much money. Or as an example, we made I'm not sure, I'm stuttering like a little baby right there. We made good money with Shiba Inu as an example, right? But I could always think, if I only did it slightly different, I could have made 4 million instead of, for example, 2 million. Or with the whole UST situation, I could think, oh, you know what? If I just pulled out and went for something else, I wouldn't have lost 2 million right there. You can always keep thinking about things you lost, things you could have done better. But I always see it as like a lesson. I did it that way because I thought it was the right way. Next time, I won't do it that way. And when it comes to XRP, you might say 2 things. One is I never learned my lesson because I keep committing. But the other is, historically, it's always done really well in a bull run. You might say, Dusty, last time it didn't even breach its all-time high. Who gives a motherfucking crap? People are so freaking stupid. Not to insult any of you guys. If you're a loyal viewer, I appreciate you still. Anyway, but you might realize I'm getting a little bit more chaotic here in this video. It's because now we're getting into such exciting times, like crazy pump territory, that I get a little bit, jittery. Case study, right? If you had bought XRP in the first major cycle, anywhere, right, before its crazy rush, let's say your high price could have been like 24 cents. Since it went to like $4, when the crazy spike started to happen, let's just say there was a 15x or so. Okay, but let's say you skipped out on this run. You got to buy in later. XRP, before it went on its crazy winning streak, it was roughly 47 cents and went to what? Let's say about $2. That would have been about a 5x, 4 or 5x. But again, if you had bought just, let's say a month or 2 before that, you could have gotten yourself still at a price of 20 something cents. So that could have been almost, let's say, an 8 or maybe even 9x or so in the span of a few months. Again, if we're looking at prices right now, if a crazy spurt of these sorts were to happen, again, I'm personally expecting a minimum of a 5x, but personally I'm expecting prices to go way higher than when it went this previous run, or at least I'm going to say 3 times where it went this time around. So I'm going to say at least $6 as a basis. I personally expect way higher prices, but they've called it dead so many times, yet we're still here. The price is still pulling up some astronomical numbers. Volume is up like crazy. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is up 41% this week. It's going for a pretty crazy streak here. And as long as Bitcoin sets the pace, right, or keeps up with the pace. Can we zoom in here real quick? Let's try. Let's see if we can grab a good juicy month here. I'm not so sure where I should have grabbed it from, actually. I wanted to quickly showcase the price going from this 40 cent to 61 cents or so, because at 63 cents just now, going from 40, it was a nice, little bit more than 50% increase over just a week. And again, it's nice, and every single person who's holding XRP because of watching the videos or whatever should be in profit. If you're not, learn from it. Again, I sometimes say, man, you're stupid, but I also understand that people need to learn things. All of this, right? I didn't learn everything from just watching one video one day. You'll learn it from spending time in it and actually buying these things, transacting with these things, and spending actual valuable time learning more. And so whenever I call you guys stupid, please don't see it as a real insult. See it as a little motivator to put some fire under your ass to learn more and to make sure you don't make the same mistake twice. So this time around, hey, maybe you messed up, you weren't in a lot of profit, or maybe even you lost some money. Learn from it for the next time, because again, you can let it happen once, twice, maybe even a third time. But after that, if you're still making the same mistakes, maybe you'll just like pain. So conclusion, XRP right now, is it a buy? No. Simple. I mean, it's up 50% in a week. If you didn't buy the dips, why buy now? Unless you're buying every single day, every single week, every single month, then obviously it's just your daily routine. Go for it. It's not a bad thing to just average it out. If you're buying right now, it could be that tomorrow the price goes down 15%. But again, because things average out over time, if you have a set strategy, it will be fine. When to buy then? When to buy? Again, if you're not buying when things are low, you're not getting the point still. Now that prices are high, you should be thinking, hey, should I take some profit here because I'm up 50% in a week? And my answer would be, well, if you feel insecure about your investment, it's not a bad idea to cash some out to, again, provide further liquidity for future trades and future opportunities. Don't buy high, buy low, and sell high. However, I will add that right now the sentiment is so positive, is so bullish, that if we go for a super cycle here, and that means just like we did back in 2017, back in 2021, we go crazy for weeks on end, then relatively the prices are still basically at nothing. So if you're buying XRP now, it's like buying it before the run starts, because 60 cents is not a whole bunch, and the price was just at 63 cents. So let's say roughly 5% higher than it is right now. I still think it's, again, a pretty easy no-brainer for the longer term, though. And eventually it's going to be more of a question of which altcoin over which, but XRP has proven itself to be one of the bigger contenders still. I know they've been on a little low fire, on low heat for a while, but they're back in action, and expect a lot more content, a lot more thoughts on this, because once more, XRP as of this point, I think it's still my third biggest holding after Ethereum, which is my biggest, then Bitcoin is my second. Let me just see. I think I'm down a ton over the last hour here. Just for fun, let me quickly refresh. Yes, I'm down a very, very significant amount of money in just 1 hour, which is funny, right? If you have your money in portfolio apps, that's why I told people before to never check, because it hurts. But again, expect a lot of cool videos coming up here, a lot of tutorials. Just stick around if you enjoy the channel's videos, and yeah, that's about it.